You gotta have that killer instinct.
Van Fleet.
If you believe you can do it, then you can.
That was incredible. And the Houston Rockets with an unbelievable performance.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Launch Pad. I am your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, and this is the Executive's View, the view from on top, man. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here on a Monday night talking Houston Rockets basketball, man. You guys know how I get down. If you see the show, share the show. We're all over the place, man. We on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok. We're doing big things in the places that definitely want to take everybody along for the journey. I don't do this by myself, man. The homie Larry's in the building. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Yo, what up, bro? Man,
You know.
hey, look, next thing you know, we're going to be broadcasting from the moon, man.
Yo,
Hey.
I'm telling you what, blast off, my guy.
Yeah, blast off. I was about to say it.
No, we're going to be
Look,
from the
hey,
moon.
we're
Yo,
going to be everywhere.
Oh, my
Yeah,
So, anywho, sorry about that. I'm having some technical difficulties, but man, it's going to be fun to chop it up, man. Steve will be here shortly. And I guess the homie Jesse is courtside, man. What's up with that? Larry? Looks like Larry's having some technical difficulties as well, man. We'll get back to Larry in a minute. We got a lot to talk about, man. Check this out. Houston Rockets season has kicked off. We are currently 0-2 right now. And we are struggling out the gate.
I'm back.
Talk about cricket.
Nah, man. Hey, it's G14 classified, man. It's not cricket.
Gotcha. But anyways, we are slow out the gate, man. 0-2 going into play tonight. Playing the Brooklyn Nets tonight, man. But I wanted to back up and talk a little bit about this offseason and kind of how we as Rockets fans are positioning ourselves moving forward. Larry talking, my guy. This offseason was a tale of two, I don't say two halves, man. There's a lot of twists and turns. Obviously, the acquisition of KD was huge, but talk to me, man. Where's your head at, bro?
So, you know what? I'm kind of torn, bro. I like the acquisition of KD, right? But I don't like what we gave up to get KD.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I'm not a fan of giving up your 23-year-old superstar for a 37-year-old superstar. I'm just not a fan of that, right? But at the same time, it was like the Rockets basically had the sons of a barrel. KD had two teams that he said he was willing to go to, and one of those teams didn't have the assets to acquire him, right? So it's like that old rule. If I know that I got what you need, then you know what I mean. I'm gonna give you the bare minimum of what you want. Like now, I'm not saying that they should have, it could have been other packages to get acquired KD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without giving up Jalen Green. I think that we're starting to see some of these like without Dylan Brooks, stuff like that. I think it's starting to rear its ugly head. Regardless if you love Dylan Brooks or hate Dylan Brooks, that toughness he brought, man.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it's like now the Rockets looking, kind of soft. And then of course they probably took that aspect thinking that Fred was gonna be healthy, and that Fred, dude, I was in the gym and I saw it, and me and my boys, we looked at it, and I'm like, is that live? Is that real? Is that are we tripping?
Mm-hmm.
I could not believe that. And they was like, yes, Rockets point guard Fred VanVleet torn ACL. I'm like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
What in the hell? And I know that trade was predicated on Fred being here, but yeah, dude, it's just week one, bro, and we're starting to see who made wise moves and who didn't.
It's funny. you mentioned week 1 and Fred. I want to double click on that because the Fred VanVleet injury took place early on in this offseason. We knew directly after KD was acquired that Fred was going to be out. And so we've talked about it in many spaces. Why haven't we as a squad went out and acquired a point guard? We went. Well, that's something. I mean, so yeah, because I mean the second apron and all the things, but like we've made chicken salad out of chicken crap before. We've moved pieces. We've done what we need to do. We're not going to be competitive in the Western Conference without a point guard. I don't care what. I don't care how great KD is. I don't care if Ahmed Thompson, was working or Shane Goon was doing this thing. Like we need a point guard.
Oh my god, my bad.
Are you sure?
Oh my bad. Non-basketball related. Oh, tiny boy, man. Oh my god. But dude. So we talked about this off the air, right? And this was my thing. The backup point guard position with the Rockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was not a fan of going into the season with just Holiday, right?
Right.
And we could have made moves to get like a Tyus Jones type of player, right? Just in case something happens to Fred, take a few minutes off of Fred because Fred is getting a little bit up there. We could have made those moves prior to the KD trade, right? But now we're kind of stuck, in that position where we can't even make any moves without league approval. None. Like, because we're in that apron where the only way that the Rockets can make a move right now, whether it's a sign or a trade, has to have league approval.
Well, I mean, I don't mind the league approval situation. Like, I mean, I'm not going. I don't think the league's gonna be like, you know what? Nah, Houston.
Chris Paul.
Again, Chris Paul is the exception to the rule. You feel me?
Because the thing was, it's set up to stop people from creating these super teams. Guys taking pay cuts. Guys doing buyouts and going because they know they're making 30 million somewhere else and taking $1 million to go play with another team. But now it's like even if we did make a trade, I think it could only be a trade for a player that's making. I think I want to say it's like half of what Fred makes.
I mean, Fred's making a rack of bread, so that's not.
Not in today's NBA money. What's $12 million? Because he's making I think 25, so it got to be somebody making like 12 or 13. So that might be a guy deep on the end of the bench in today's NBA money.
That's not. Let me take a look at it really quickly because, like, I don't want to speak wrong, but if Fred's right now is making 25 mil, so half of that to be 15.
Now me, and of course Nas probably gonna take an arm and a leg to pry him up out of there, but I've been saying for forever, man, we would have made that Melo trade.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. We've been talking about that offline for a while.
Made the Melo trade that because Rockets got scores. Rockets got plenty of scores. We need a pass first, but still been able to shoot and score a point guard, and I think that would have put us in a better position going into the season. But like I said, you're seeing the fruition for a lot of these teams, of the moves that they made in the offseason.
So going into this offseason, one of the guys that we were looking at is Reed Shepherd coming into a second year. What have you seen from him in year 2? Again, we're 3 games in. What have you seen from him in year 2 that could potentially be an asset to us? I mean, if not for the team, he can be moved, potentially trade. I mean, right now he's making 10 mil. So I mean,
so for me, dude, I don't know about you, but for me, bro, this is my thing. If you're gonna make the KD trade, right? Because technically KD is that 3-4ish, type of player, right? You know what I'm gonna say, bro? Reed could have been part of that package. Because right now Reed really is unproven to me.
Reed, Tyree,
Jabari.
Jabari.
Yeah. They all could have been part of that package versus
DFS. I mean, anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, the only two people that I would not have moved to get KD would have been Amen and it would have been Sengun. Two cornerstones. I mean, and if you're really talking about competing in the West, you should have kept Green too. That would have gave you a formidable four.
He's a walking bucket, dog.
Yeah,
he's hurt now, but he's a walking bucket.
And imagine, so let me put this on your plate, right? And then it's still early in the season, but imagine Green not having to carry the scoring load with a KD on the team. Imagine a Green being able to freely operate around the court without, him being the focal point of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, might have looked a whole lot better.
A whole lot better. Like, I was excited about the potential of getting a KD. I wasn't excited about the fact that we gave up Jalen Green in order to do it.
No,
you know what I'm saying. So it's frustrating, but looking at the money, how it's spread out. You know what I'm saying. Steven Adams.
This is the part that pissed me off really about that trade too. And that's why I said, dude, this is what really pissed me off about that trade. How do we make that trade and not already have KD signed at the time of that trade?
That should have been a bang, bang thing.
Yes, that should have been bang, bang. So now you would at least know what your salary cap implications were with him or without him. And, it's like that was the thing that was starting to really get under my skin because it's like weeks on weeks on weeks. KD saying he want to stay. They saying they want him to stay. I'm like, okay, well, if that's the problem, if that's the case, then why the deal isn't done? Why did it take, he just signed it, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Why did it take 3 months to sign a KD deal that should already been in place at the time of the trade? That even further infuriated me because, like, how do you trade one of your young stars and not already have a deal in place for the guy that you're trading for? What you say? Make that make sense?
Make that make sense? Make that make sense? Yeah, that's a whole weird combination, man. Spinning it around really quickly. So we went and started out kind of slow this year. KD is not. How can I word this? For what this team looks like, I need KD. We need KD to be superstar KD, right? Yeah. And through 3 games, I haven't seen that. You say no. Why?
So KD, for me, KD is a guy that's a scorer, right? In KD's entire career, has he ever been known as a rebounder?
We don't need him to rebound. We got 7.
No, but I'm going somewhere with this, right?
Okay.
Has he ever been known as a rebounder? No.
No.
Has he ever been known? I mean, his defense is a little bit because of just how tall he is, right? Mm-hmm. And has he ever been known as a distributor? No.
No.
The problem with the Rockets right now is they have nobody who's a distributor, nobody to run the offense, nobody who can, quote unquote, set everything up the way that, Udoka wants to set up, right? And if you look at all of these teams to some degree, and I know they say that the true point guard is gone, but pretty much every team, just say the last 4 or 5 years that have won a championship has had someone in that role. So they can't say that person is gone in the NBA because if you think about it, like even look at OKC, like we know Shea runs that offense. The offense goes through Shea. Yeah. Shea may have 5 assists, but he's gonna make the right pass to get to the next pass, or he may have 10 assists because he's been setting everybody up. He may have 45 points with it, but yeah, he's gonna get it. But it's like every team has that guy, and the Rockets don't.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's my point. I mean, even tonight, he's got 12 points.
And you're trying to, and you're trying to make guys, you're trying to make guys into something that they're not, right? Remember when Fred first went down, he was like, "Oh, well, we're gonna, try Reed at the point." And remember, we were in the group chat, and people were like, "Oh, look at what he's doing," and I'm like, I don't want my primary ball handler on that team taking the most shots and only having like 4 assists. Mm-hmm. That means he's only been passing the guys when they're absolutely open, and he's constantly looking for his shots. Reed Shepard should not be point. Then it was like, okay, we're gonna start the biggest starting lineup in opening day history. Amen went 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. And what he had, what, like three assists or something like that?
Yeah, he had 3 assists, yeah.
He's not a distributor. And he has no outside shot. So that means nobody's gonna respect it.
No, he scores.
Yeah, nobody's gonna respect it, dude. And like that's not his role. Like his role is more slasher, score, people setting him up, stuff like that. And it's like they're trying to put guys in the roles that's not their role. It's just it's not. I don't see the cohesiveness right now. I just don't.
And I think that's the thing. Yeah, that's a very good point. That's the thing that's bothering me. You know, looking at how this Rockets team is playing, it's not cohesive. You know, we lost OKC on opening night, double overtime. The Pistons, it was a close game, but that game was really never, in my opinion, as close as the score would indicate. Again, with 3 games in, you look up, you got San Antonio, that's 3-1, 3-0, excuse me, running through people. We got Memphis, Dallas, you know what I'm saying? So we're digging ourselves a hole that's going to be very difficult to come out of, and we're a week into the season, bro. Like, I'm
not gonna press the panic button like that right now, right? But what I'm seeing from the Rockets, right, is like like I said, you're trying to make something happen that's not happening, right? You're trying to make guys into roles that shouldn't be their roles, right? And then on top of that, you got KD and Timu KD, right? So it's like sometimes Udoka reminds me of that guy. Sometimes they think they're the smartest guy in the room, but they're really stupid.
Really
stupid. And like I said, I don't see any flow. The thing that really is starting to really irk me. I don't know. I've seen these reports come out after the fact, and I was like, oh, they offered Tyree, $100 million, but then they declined his option. Like Tyree looked like he's like checked out, like he's ready to get out of here.
Well, I mean, they're playing with his money. I mean, Tyree's restricted free agent after this year.
He's earned it though. That's the crazy part about it. He's earned it.
Like, I mean, yes, but the thing is, your biggest, playing card is your availability. He's been hurt.
Yeah, but he's also coming off a career year. And they've actually played better when they've had Tyree. When he's playing, they're playing better. And like I said, and if you're seeing guys that barely played 8 minutes a game last season and getting, $125 million, then pay that guy his money. Pay him his money. So
I can see us moving on from Tyrese.
And that would be the most disheartening thing about it. It's like, why do you keep the 2 guys and this is typical Rocket stuff, right? A guy that you see him come out and ball. And we've seen this over and over. Remember, they had guys who come out in the preseason. They come out and ball. Rockets cut them. Oh, we had a guy who plays really good. Okay, you know what? I think we won't give him any minutes, and then we'll move on from it.
Cam Whitmore.
Cam Whitmore. Kenyon Martin Jr. Yeah, we've seen it. It's like, dude, it's like they get into their head so much, and then they end up keeping the guys that they really should have been moved on from. And it's getting harder in that West, man. It's getting harder in that West.
We talked about it last Tuesday, man. Like the pathway to greatness or the pathway to success in the West is going to be a gauntlet. It's going to be.
You didn't like him, dude, but we could have got West. We could have got Russ, man. We could have got Russ. Russ would have ran the point.
I will say this, and I wish Steve was here because he knows how much I hate that guy.
And he knows how much I love that guy.
But looking at how this team came out the blocks, Russell Westbrook on this particular team would have done the job.
Because all he needs to be is a distributor. He doesn't even need to be the focal point of scoring. He just needs to be a rebounder and a distributor, which is what he excels at, and play defense, which is what he would excel at and older Russ is more willing to accept his role. I don't know if you noticed that. Like older Russ is like, hey, you want me to come off the bench? I'll come off the bench. Hey, you need me to score? You need me to score. You need me to, set up everybody else? I'll do that. And Russ would have been perfect. I think the thing with the Rockets was, and Sengun is good to a certain degree, but I think that they were thinking he was more like a Jokic or like a LeBron. And those are some of the outliers that in the league that you could say to yourself, okay, we don't have a quote unquote point guard in a sense, but we could run our offense through these guys. But Sengun does Sengun things, but Jokic brings it up 94 feet.
But we don't want to copy that.
Yeah, and it's like, you see guys like that in the league, and people think that they got the same guy, and that guy may not be that guy.
Like I struggle with Sengun trying to fill that role, but it looks like if you look at how game one, excuse me, I'm still in football mode. Game one unfolded. That's what they were trying.
Like he's a good passer for a big guy, but he's not like I said, to me, he's not that guy that's like, oh my God, he's the, bring the ball up, 94 feet like a Joker. That's just, like I said, I don't see it. But like I said, 2 going into 3 games in. Yeah. Like I say, and they might have enough to beat the Nets tonight because the Nets just stink.
The Nets are just garbage.
Yeah, they just garbage. But then when you facing some of these other teams, and look, I know you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say, man. Man, that dude looking half amazing down that I-10 road, man. Look, some of the stuff that dude over there doing, and they don't even have De'Aaron Fox. Dude, they don't even have De'Aaron Fox yet, which is the even crazier part about it. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think that it's gonna be some guys getting knocked off their pecking order. We automatically assume, our 1 through 8 in the West. And it's gonna be some guys that's gonna be like, oh, they fighting for a play-in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're 3 games in. This is a marathon, not a sprint. But looking at the current roster, if you will, and looking at how things are going to shake themselves out, there's not a point guard amongst us. Aaron Holiday, maybe, if you want to call him that, but.
And I'm not gonna say they don't need a point guard that's quote unquote superstar point guard. They need somebody who can they can bring the ball up the court. Because dude, if I saw 4, 5, 7 footers full court press, full court press.
That's what I can do.
Yeah, I'm full court pressing.
Okay, cool. Full court press. Make him dribble and hang the ball.
Make you dribble and make you make that right pass. Yeah. Hey, every single time. And I might throw a trap in on here.
Exactly. I love him in Thompson. No, that's not him. Yeah, now KD would. KD would, but KD's not he's not a ball handler like that.
And that's what I'm saying. They need somebody like that. Somebody who can bring the ball up and somebody who can, quote unquote, set up other guys when needed. Of course, because the Rockets have so much talent, they got a lot of guys that can do ISO, but it's only so much ISO you can do in the league. It's only so much ISO. Now, I will say this, though. I don't know what got into Udoka, too, because I've actually seen him run a couple of pick and rolls. So now
you wait till Jalen rolls out, and then all of a sudden you run pick and roll. How many times have we sat on this very network and talked about that last year?
When you had your scoring 2 guard and your big man that you should have been running the pick and roll with, now he's been trying to run it with Sengun and Durant, and I'm like, but it seemed like it's off. It's off. Maybe they haven't had enough practice in the preseason or something, but it just don't seem cohesive right now. Into 3 games in.
Yeah, 3 games in. It's not really cohesive. So. Question for you, big dog. You know what I'm saying? What's the game plan for Clint Capella?
Dude, I have no clue. And I'm trying to be PG.
It's not just me.
He don't look like playing with James Harden Clint Capella. He looked like old man Mutombo coming to play Clint Capella. like, what was the point of acquiring Clint Capella?
That part. That.
That's the part that I didn't understand. Because you gotta think about it, dude. We already had Steven Adams, which to me, Steven Adams, he's better suited for not a starting role, but a reserve role, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're only gonna probably play him so many games, right? But you already had Clint Capella. I mean, you already had Steven Adams. You had Sengun.
Yeah.
You had Jock Landale, who actually played pretty good for you again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you trade for Clint Capella. Like, it almost makes me think about this, right? And you're gonna think I'm being funny, right? What team? I think that was one of his Cleveland teams or one of his Miami teams when LeBron like just wanted all these big guys, like all these big guys, big guys, and it was like an epic failure. And it's like, are y'all trying to repeat the same thing over again? Like, to me, it seems like, of course, in basketball terms, it said the Rockets got too many 4s and 5s, way too many, and not enough 1s and 2s.
Way too many.
Yeah, way too many. And it's like
we got KD starting as our 2 guard.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, that makes no sense to me. Where we have all these centers, and it's like, what was the point of that? What was the point? And like I said, and then I think they cut him. They cut Jock Landale, and I'm like, you could have got what you got out of Clint Capella from Jock Landale, and you already had him on the roster.
Correct. So again, what is the game plan for this man?
Dude, only they know. I think they over there pressing the Magic 8 ball and be like, look, tell me what to do. Sign another center. Tell me what to do. Give me another center. Give me another. Dude, it's like, man, the Rockets, to me, it's almost running into that sense where maybe they want to get whatever KD wants.
KD didn't want this.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because you got to remember the reason why he's here, because he's Udoka's boy, because Udoka was in Brooklyn with him.
Cool.
And he's Udoka's boy.
They had guards.
Yeah.
KD don't want to. I mean, again, he's going to or whatever. But KD didn't come here to play with a bunch of 5s.
I don't know, man. And like I said, because of the salary cap, bro, it's like now it's like how much will they be handicapped from even improving this roster, and how much will they be, so far out of the West by the time that even roll around?
Again, you said it's not, again, 3 games in and you don't hit the panic button 3 games in. I get it. But like,
I'm starting to really question, you know what? I'll even let's back this up even further. I'm starting to question Stone, man. Like, what is he thinking? I'm starting to question him, bro. Like, think about how many draft picks the Rockets have been sitting on that they could have moved to acquire, quote unquote, better assets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even going into this season, we was like, dude, why are they sitting on it? What was they had, like the 4th pick or something? What was the pick that went with the KD trade? I can't remember which one it was. 12. I think it was 12.
It was 12.
And we was like, why is he sitting on this 12 pick? Like, even last year, going back to Reed Shepherd, we was like, this draft is basically one guy, right? Mm-hmm. Why are you sitting on this 3rd pick? Why? Like, you got a ready to win team now. You needed a KD 2 years ago. That's when you needed a KD, and you sat on these picks, right? And then I'm one of the people that, a spade is a spade and a leopard is a leopard, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Reed Shepherd as a difference maker right now. And I probably
difference maker when we drafted him.
I don't see him being a difference maker ever. So why are you holding on to Reed Shepherd? Why did you hold on to this number 12 pick all the way up to draft? Was it draft day when we did the trade for KD? Why did you hold on?
No, it was a couple days before the draft.
Yeah, I think it was like a day or 2 before.
Yeah.
Why are you holding on to that? And then, I'm gonna bring it back to where I'm gonna bring it back to. Why are you holding on to Jabari Smith? Why? Why, dude? This makes no sense to me. Like, dude, hey, I had CK laughing the other day. I say CK. I say, man, I say, sometimes the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, I say, man, I say, sometimes, man, you are who you are, right? Dude, do you not know? I didn't know this till I was doing some research on the dude because I was like, man, why this little bit? I didn't know that Jabari Smith is related to Kwame Brown. Yeah, look at your face, bro.
Hold on a second. What?
Sometimes the apple don't fall far from the tree.
That makes a lot of sense.
He might be Kwame Brown, which I mean, I'm gonna put it like this: did Kwame Brown play like 10 years? Did Kwame Brown live up to his hype? No. Did all that was that all his fault? Yes and no. But Kwame Brown was one of them guys. He was okay, and maybe Jabari Smith is just always gonna be one of those okay guys. For this team with the stars on that team, he needs to be moved for a quality guy. Why are you holding on to Jabari Smith? And people kept telling me, "Oh, he's
Did they pick
young."
up his option?
Huh?
Don't we pick up his option?
Yes.
Yeah.
They gave him an extension.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
they gave
gave
him
him
an
an extension.
extension. Dude. So, in all my years of watching basketball, and all your years of watching basketball, right? You may have a guy year one, they don't really kind of quote unquote put it together. Year two, you see them kind of turn the page a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do have those guys that come out the gate, they just, superstars out the gate, like even like a Donovan Mitchell. Man, Donovan Mitchell, low draft pick, came out the gate, nobody was expecting him. He is who he thought we were, right? Jabari Smith is going into year 4, and they're still waiting. At some point, you got to cut the cord, bro. You got to cut the cord.
I think the biggest thing with this is they drafted him so fucking high. He was the 3rd overall draft pick in 2022. I know, dude, I get it. But the thing is, like, I can understand, like, you don't want to admit that you made a mistake.
And I think they don't want to admit it, and they trying everything under power. And like I said before, they're gonna wait to where nobody's gonna give them anything for Jabari, and that's gonna be the sad part, yeah. Dude. This dude is literally shooting 34% from the field.
He's so kind of bad.
34%, dude. Remember what I said the other day? I was like, dude, I say, man, he thinks he's KD. He thinks he's KD. Meanwhile, you're shooting what 2? He was 2 for 6 from 3. Yeah, dude. Like, bro, he thinks he's KD when you're not KD. But it's more troubling to me that you held on to this guy for so long. Well, you could have packed even when when we didn't know who we were going to draft with that number 3 pick. You could have packaged him in that number 3 pick and got you a better player, right? You could have done that. Because he's young, somebody would have felt like, oh, well, in our offense, he'll be better. He'll be this, blah, blah, blah. At this point, the Rockets should know who he is and know what they're getting from him. And from what they're getting from him, to me, is like, that's a tradable asset, right?
That way.
Right? Do you not know that Bleacher Report, I hate to call out the people on our show, right? They did a ranking the other day, and Jabari Smith was the 9th best 4th option in the NBA.
9th best 4th option.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Tradable.
Yeah, definitely.
Tradable, bro. That means that you get the ball after 3 other people on your team, and out of everybody else in the league, you are the 9th best person. That means that you should be traded, bro. You should be traded. And I think the most disheartening thing for me that really kind of irks me the most is that I get it. You can't control. Well, let me take that back. They probably can control how the ping pong balls supposedly bounce, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I said it before. You watch the Thunder, right? Chet is a difference maker on that team.
Yes.
Right. You watch the Magic. Banchero is a difference maker on that team. The Rockets win with Jabari, without Jabari. They actually played better when what did Steve say? He was in hoodie season.
Hoodie season.
Hoodie season, bro. As a number 3 pick, if you don't influence my wins, that means you are tradable, bro. Tradable. And in typical Rockets fashion, they're gonna hold on to him too long. They're gonna hold on to Reed too long. They already burnt their bridges with Eason. And then what does this team look like when we got a failure in Jabari Smith, we got a failure in Reed, and Eason's gone, and KD's damn near 40, and Fred VanVleet's coming off of ACL. What does this Rocket team look like? Because I don't think Sengun and Amon is going to be enough to really compete in the West.
And then
we're going to be right back into tanking mode. Dude, right back into tanking mode, bro. Like I said, dude, this dude literally averages like 12 points. It's like, 13 points for his career.
13.
You can get that off the street. What we was laughing about, you 6'10", and you don't even average one block.
6'11", 220, and doesn't get a block.
Not even
half a block.
Dude, yeah. I know that dude is like a freak of nature. Wimby had 9 blocks in like 8 minutes the other night. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro. So you trying to tell me that? You know what? I'm just being for real, bro. And that's just me. If you 6'10" and you don't even average one block a game, you know what that is? That's
block of defense.
That's effort, bro.
Yeah.
That means that you can't chase down block somebody. That means that you can't, come from the blind side and block somebody at least once a game. At least once, bro. Like I said, that's just effort, bro. And I think that, like I said, if this team doesn't even make a Western Conference final, dude, I'm just put it like this, bro. I feel like Stone need to be gone. I feel like Udoka need to be gone. I feel like they need to just tear down to the studs and start all the way over.
Because it's easy. It's easy to do that. It's easy to say that, but
it's looking like Daryl Moore. It's looking like we got Daryl Moore running the shop again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? It looks like, I don't even know. I can't even describe what it looks like, man. I mean, it may be Stone. It may not be, but before we get cracking, Coach is in the building, man. What's going on, Coach? How we doing, sir?
What up, Steve?
What's going on?
Not much, big bro.
Steve probably agree with me.
What do you mean?
Agree with what?
I say, man, if they don't make no Western Conference final, they probably need to clean house. And Stone definitely need to be gone.
Not necessarily. I mean, we talked about this all last year, where it's just like adjusted expectations and stuff like that. Where it's like we went into the season last year not expecting like what happened last year, and then now this year we kind of adjust our expectations. Where it's like, look, they need to get out the first round first, before we do anything else. Now, the expectations, of course, when you make a trade for Kevin Durant, you do what you do, the expectations are much loftier, much higher. But it's like, okay, they need to make it out the first round. Like, let's do that first, before we just like.
I'm saying because of the moves he's made and the moves that he's not made.
What moves has he not made that you don't like?
You jumped in a little late. I feel like, I'll be honest with you, dude. I feel like he's held on to Jabari too long. I feel like he should have traded that number 3, but he's holding on to Reed too long.
Holding on to Reed too long. Holding on to the guy who is in his. Let me check my notes here. His second year in the league, Larry. Okay.
Has he?
No. His second year in the league.
And you
just said with your mouth, you used words out your mouth to say that he's held on to the second year player.
He should not have even had him. He could have been in the what's called. He could have been in the Durant trade. I'm being for real. He could have been part of that Durant trade. You've seen guys get traded year 1.
I have. I mean,
Yeah.
I have seen it, and it's
Guys get on the court, and they know who they are, and they be like, you know what? I've seen guys get traded after year one.
the Jabari move. I makes sense. I can agree.
Sorry about that. I was trying to like.
Nah, you good. Hey, nah, you good, Steve. You
No, no,
good.
no. no so, but let me get back in here because like I didn't do that for dramatic effect. I did that literally by accident. I was trying to adjust my phone. But
Hey,
anyway,
fingers strike again.
yeah, I know, right? Anyway, it's like so. Basically, again, let's get the revisionist history out of here. It's like so you're saying he's held on to Reed too long because you think he shouldn't be there in the first place. I
that
mean,
number, remember, we both agreed that number 3 pick should have been moved.
but you can't say he held on to him too long when it's just like he's only in his second season, stuff like that. And Jabari, like, will probably again. We talked about this on the Tuesday show, Total Sports Tuesday at 9. Make sure you check us out. But like the Rockets are so far up against that second apron, they literally cannot do anything right
Yeah.
now. You know, so it's just like this is the team we got. We just got to roll with it. It's like it's going good so far. You know what I'm saying? It's like so far so good. You know, this is not a perfect team. This team isn't done. This team that we see tonight and we'll see isn't the team that we're going to see in March. You know, this team is going to look different. Now, how much different? I don't know. This team is going to look different. I mean, so I wouldn't be all like rushing to trade and stuff like that and doing all this. It's just like I'm just going right now. Again, we're not even 5 games into the season. I'm going to let things just rock for now before I'm ready to fucking tear the team up and like, oh, everybody gotta go.
I'm not pressing the panic button, Steve, but I'm just saying, think about it, dude. From if you Stone, right? Okay. And you've had these top picks that either didn't plan out and you didn't move them to get better, right? But then even with the Fred situation, when we kept saying, I don't want to go in the season with Aaron Holiday as my backup. I don't want to do that. So you failed to address even your backup point guard position where you could have had somebody who could hold the fort down. Hell, what's his name in Dallas? We probably could have got D'Lo for a bag of chips, and he could have been quote unquote that backup. But we lost Fred, so now we need you to put in the time. You could have got.
I mean, but it's not Stone's fault though. Like Fred getting hurt's not Stone's fault.
No, but I'm saying you could have had somebody in place though.
Okay, hold on.
You had a backup in place.
If that's what I was gonna say. Fred's getting hurt, not Stone's fault, not Udoka's fault. It happens. But the fact that we went into this season without addressing the issue is my problem.
Well, yeah, I mean that goes without saying. It's just like I feel like again with the financial restrictions that the Rockets have, it makes it difficult. But again, it's like this is where I will kind of like rock with you, Larry. Where it's like this is where the general manager has to go. Okay, how do we get better? What do we move? What do we do? What can we do to do these things to get better? Because now we are without our starting point guard. Now again, however we feel about Fred and his shot selection and his floor general skills at times, this team is better with Fred without Fred. I think we can all agree on that. But then for Stone to sit there and not to just be like, all right, well, I guess we'll just rock with what we have. Like, and I know I just said that, but it's like, I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do now because it's like the Rockets at earliest they have to wait until like literally like what I think is January, like these new signees or whatever like that can be traded. So it's like we're looking at Christmas time when the Rockets can even attempt to do anything. So this first month or so of the season, this is the team, and my hope, and this was what I've said all summer. My hope is that okay, maybe in the process, Reed and Amin can just kind of like, kind of fusion together. It's like, the sum of all parts. It's just like of the two of them together can become a decent point guard until the cavalry arrives. Then I'm all for it. It's just like it's a project to say the least. It is,
Do you want to do a project though with this type of team? And this is where I kind of
I wouldn't, yeah.
this is where I put some of this on Stone, right? And before you jumped on me and Sirius was talking about it, right? You got Sengun, right? Got Steven Adams, right? You already had Jock Landau. Why the hell did you trade for Clint Capella and said, you know what? Do I want to go in the season with Aaron Holiday as my backup, but I got 4 centers on my team? Let me see. Maybe there was a guy out there. Maybe there was, I know he retired, but maybe there was a Malcolm Brogdon or, somebody else that would have took a vet minimum to be my backup point guard, but I needed another old agent center.
I said this while you were off air, Coach. I'm going to say it now that you're on air. We should have signed Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You was right there. You right there.
Russ didn't mind being a backup. Oh, on this team, and he might have had a chance in the ring. Russ would have been like, you know what? I still got that ranch out in Sugarland, man. I think it ain't being rented right now. I think, like I said, him not addressing the backup point guard is a failure. Clint Capella's looking like hot garbage right now, bro. Like, did we absolutely needed another center on this team? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Hell, Bush College is still sitting. I know they can't make no moves right now, but hell, I would take a Ben Simmons on this team. Ben, just dribble up the ball.
No, you won't. No, I said Ben Simmons, and y'all said go get Ben. No, you cannot say that now because I said, you know what? It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to look at Ben Simmons. Y'all see, y'all watching this don't know going behind the scenes. They were very mean to me. These two.
I don't like it.
When I mentioned Ben Simmons, so they don't get to say that now because they were very mean to me.
When I doing Ben Simmons, I'm doing it.
Hey, Aaron, you may not know nothing about this. Me and Steve, we from the South, man. Steve, you know what a served sandwich is?
Yeah, of course. I've eaten many of them my day, yes.
Man, when you hungry, man, you know what that served sandwich tastes like?
Tastes like steak. Yeah.
Tastes like steak. Hey, we're going right now, bro. And like right now, man, we at served sandwich level, man.
We ain't that hungry. We ain't that hungry.
Dude, when Amen's shooting 0 for 7 from playing point, we hungry, bro. We hungry.
But that's not his game though. It's like you saw tonight. His game is taking people off the dribble and going to the hole. That's what you literally saw it tonight. That's what he do best. He's not. That's not. I don't think that's ever going to be a part of his game. His game is using his game is using his dynamic athletic ability to get to the hole and either get fouled or get a layup. That's what he does. And then through that, and again, he's not a point guard. He's like, oh, they're so tall. It's the tallest lineup in the history of basketball. Like, who cares? It's like he needs to develop like playmaking skills.
Exactly.
And I mean that's rule number 1 of being a point guard is like making plays. Now and not making plays just by going to them, but it's like looking for the play. I've seen already this season, this very young season, is just like, look. I know he's not a fan favorite, but it's like, okay, you're driving to the hole. Jabari's open in the corner. The right basketball play is to kick it to him. Even, what I'm saying? That's the right basketball play. Now, what Jabari does once he has the ball, that's up to him. But the correct basketball play is to kick it to the corner to whoever it is, Jabari or Tari or whoever's in the corner, and not try to dunk it over 3 people. But that's what a man does because he's a special athlete. But once he learns I'm sorry. Like, does Udoka even speak to any one of these young men? Like, does he even speak to either one of them?
Nope. I doubt it.
I don't know. It's just. I don't know. It's just.
Steve, that's what. So before you join, that's what I was saying, bro. It's like you could see, like the NBA is trying to make this position in basketball, right? But some things it don't happen, and you could see a game like, let's say the motto right now is OKC. Shea may be, in that mold of, a point guard, but he may only have technically on paper 5 assists, but like you say, he make the right pass that may get to the next person, and he might not get credit for the assist, but he made the correct play. You saw it in Boston. Boston, dude, Drew Holiday was technically the point, but they always made the right.
I would love him in this roster right now.
Yeah, it was the
right? Drew Holiday would fix a lot. What's wrong with this team right now? To be honest with
you. Dude, and right about now in Portland, bro, we probably could package something nice for them and be like, yeah, go ahead and take this. They love bigs, man. Look, hey,
Yeah, it's like Clint
but
Capella. I know it ain't been again. This
yeah,
is why they have to wait until whatever the deadline is. Like whenever you sign a player, you can't trade him until like
yeah,
60 days after the trade or whatever like that. So it's like I think the Rockets will be amongst the first teams to start kind of moving and shaking mid-December, late December when that little time
yeah.
limit is lifted. So it's just I will say this. Um, we saw it a little bit against OKC guys, like just them out there playing. There's no structure, and we
Mhm.
talked about this all. We talked about this all last year. And when you play a team like OKC, who is structured as hell, they are very structured on especially on defense. On defense is when you see the difference between a team like the Rockets and a team like OKC, because on defense they're playing as a unit and not just five guys just out there running around chasing after the ball. It's like I don't know what's going on. I'm starting to see already some things where it's like they just going out there playing. It's like, okay, boys, go do basketball. And it's just like we talking about it. Like the
See,
offensive set, like have you like there are no offensive sets. It's like it's just run. There's no like when if you can get the Rockets in the half court, it is pass the ball to Sengun. Sengun gonna do his little thing or whatever like that. Then either he gonna pass it or like it's just and that's good. That's fine. But it's like for me personally, it's not feasible to think that this team can survive long term just going out there and just playing, especially on the offensive side of the ball, where it's just like you kind of get to a point where when you go up against teams like Denver, like OKC, like Minnesota, who are good defensively, and it's just like it's like shooting fish in a barrel because you there's no imagination. You know what the Rockets are going to do. Now
yeah,
again, you have the added layer of KD who can do KD things,
yeah, no
you
sense in
know,
that.
but it's like still at the end of the day, it's like once again here we are, just no structure on offense. It's just like
That's what I said. I was like, dude, what did they do all off season? Did they even get in the gym and
I
run
mean,
some plays or something?
you saw the pictures and the video of them in the gym, but I mean, there
I
was
saw more one on one than anything. It was
yeah,
like, oh, this person was going one on one with this person. Like, is that what the offense is? Everybody play one on one?
pretty
over
much
a couple years. That's what they've shown.
Dude,
Pick and
it's
roll, no back screen, no back cut, none of that.
because people like to talk about like the Harden days, but it's like even with that, it's like Harden was a playmaker. He was like he generated a lot of the offense. He ran the offense ran through James Harden, be it him going to the hole or again James Harden led the league in assists not too long ago because he's a fantastic passer.
yeah.
He's an amazing passer. It's just of the Rockets were doing that. It feels like okay, we have this playmaker, we have this person who the offense is going through, and Sengun is pretty decent passing out of the post. I mean, but it's just is he's no Jokic. He's nowhere near Jokic.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, and I say this, and this is probably gonna put a smile on Sirius' face. I think it's time we stop with this. Oh, he's baby Jokic. He's baby Jokic. He's like no, he's Alperen Sengun. Okay, and that's okay. Jokic is one of one. Stop trying to make this kid something that he's not. Let him be Alperen Sengun because he's not and never will be Nikola Jokic. Okay, so it's like I'll just say that.
Everybody want to see who's the next. Who's the next? Who's the next?
He's in San Antonio.
Bro, that's a one of one, bro. That dude is like, yeah. Don't get me started, bro. I hate to even keep giving him credit, but it's absolutely absurd the stuff that we would have to deal with down our team, bro. It is
It's that, and then I know you're happy about this, Larry. It's like Cooper Flag just looked like he just taken to this NBA stuff like a fish to water. It's just like he doesn't look out of place. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he belongs. And I don't know.
The thing with Cooper was, to me, and people were like, oh, he's been inconsistent because they asked him to run point as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really a quote unquote point, but you asked him to do that. So of course he's going to look a little inconsistent.
But see, I think it's one thing about but it's just like he doesn't look like he's in over his head.
No,
you know what I'm saying. and that's what you worry about with a rookie in that spot. He got a lot on him. And again, it's like, and I said this on the Tuesday show. It's like when this team gets their point guard back, look out. You know,
Like Steve, so that's what I'm saying, bro. Okay, so if you look at like a Cooper Flag, right, and you say, okay, Cooper Flag, he was number one, he's that guy, right? But even when you look at like other players, it's like, okay, he's that guy, or he's this quality player, he's gonna be good in this league, bro. So far, right now with the Rockets, I don't see that in Reed. I've never saw it in Jabari. And it's like, what do we do at this point when we got two high draft picks that aren't looking like they're gonna be worthy of those picks? Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but it's just like with Reed, I'm willing to give Reed a little bit more leeway than I am with Jabari. Where it's like with Jabari, again, we've talked about this off air, and we might as well talk about it now. Where it's like, okay, Jabari, the guy who you model your game after is right there. He's 5 feet to the left of you. You know, it's like be a sponge, like kind of like develop. I am banking on Jabari soaking up some of that KB vibe or whatever. Then like watching the guy who apparently you model your game after every day. Maybe it rubs off, but it's just like I'm not going, not even 5 games into the season, be like, okay, it's just patience, guys. It's just
look. Sometimes when you order stuff off of Temu that look like the real stuff, you know what, man? It looked like the Gordon Cottrell with the sleeve all over here, and all over there. Sometimes, man, it just don't be right, man. Remember how they used to sell them shoes in Pro Wings and stuff like that? They look like Jordans, but they're not really Jordans.
Yeah. You look at them a little bit closer, and it's like,
his legs ain't that wide, man. Look, and sometimes you get that stuff, and like he's not KD, bro. I get it. You model your game off him. You want to be KD, but like Gina told Martin Cousin, you're not Eddie Murphy, bro. Like, dude, like real talk, man. He's not. Dude. Jabari, dude.
I think the biggest thing is, Steve said not to panic, but we're in the Western Conference. You feel me?
I'm not panicking. I'm just saying is that why hold on to these guys and they're not who they are? They're not. But like this, like Steve, you joined a little late. I said, dude, think about what Donovan Mitchell was drafted at, right? Donovan Mitchell was drafted with like 12, 13 or something up in there. Came out the gate. They was like, oh, we know who he is. No matter where he was drafted at, we know who he was, right? Y'all remember a guy by the name of Hassim Thabit?
Yeah.
He was drafted at?
Now for the Charlotte Bobcats.
No, he was drafted by the Thunder. He was drafted by the Thunder.
I thought
he was number 2.
I thought he was 2 to the Grizzlies.
Went to UConn, right?
I thought it was the Grizzlies. I'm not sure.
He came out of UConn. He went to the Thunder, and they kept holding on to him because he was the number 2 pick. You saw out the gate that dude was not NBA ready, bro. He was not gonna be that dude at number 2, and they kept holding on to him. When it comes to basketball, you know who hooping and who not, and I'm not saying he's a scrub, but he's not a force multiplier.
It was Memphis.
Memphis, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it is Memphis.
Yeah, I remember that because then guess who tried to get him? And like, we'll fix him. The good old Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
That's why I remember he came from Memphis. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, bro. So and I get it. We saw at the gate that dude he wasn't gonna be NBA talent, bro. So I don't care about where you was drafted at some point. It's like, man, can you hoop or you can't hoop, or can you hoop a little bit? I think Jabari's falling into that. You can hoop a little bit, and if you got as much talent on this team, if you can hoop a little bit, you know what that means? You're expendable. You're expendable to get a guy that can hoop a lot.
Yeah, but it's like, again, it's just, I think it's early, and again, like I understand what you're saying, serious. Where it's like, yeah, we're in the West. We can't sit up here and just like drag our feet because then you might dig too much of a hole to get out of it. But I don't. But again, guys, we're not Jazz bad. We're not like you know, it's like we're not Blazers, man. I don't think it's like it's just like let's calm down a little bit here. But I understand like the Rockets when it comes down to the being at the top of the Western Conference, like it's a lot of room. I mean, it's not a lot of room at the top, but I don't know, man. Like,
So Steve, let me put this on your brain, Steve.
go
So
ahead.
think about it. Think about this, right? We talking about Western Conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of. I do agree with you. I'm not a fan of getting rid of guys too early, but I'm also a fan of not holding on to them too long, right? And in the Western Conference, we could easily see a team like you just said, the Jazz, because they got so many draft picks, hit 1 or 2, and now they're looking like OKC. And then now, what does the Rockets look like with an old KD, and you relying on Sakoon and Thompson, and you still know what you're getting from Reed and Jabari?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, because again, this is where we can circle back to what we talked about when I jumped on with Stone, where it's just like this is where he has to earn his money, so to speak, because this team right now is fine, okay. Um, this team needs a couple of moves to be great, to be very good. It's like because OKC is great, Denver is great. Like it's just when you look at the other teams, look, the Warriors are turning back the clock. The Warriors are going to be a big problem moving forward. They're going to be a problem. Um, Austin Reeves scored 51 last night. Crazy, you know what I'm saying? The Lakers will probably tread water until he who should not be named comes back. So it's just you look at the other teams again, and Larry, this goes all the way to your point. You look at the other teams and you look at the rosters. Like the Rockets are top heavy with our roster, but then you start to look down the stat sheet. You start to look down the roster, and it's like, can we rely on KD to like shoulder the load of this team? You know, it's just he's probably willing to. He probably will, but it's just like Kevin Durant's not young anymore. It's like he can't do this for a whole 82 games. You know, and you need people to step up. It can't just be him and Sengun and everybody else just like standing around. You
No.
know, it has to be something else. And then this goes back to what I'm talking about, like on offense. It's just like it can't be two guys doing this, doing that, and then everybody else just standing around.
And I'm saying that too is to say that when you look at the West, right? And like I said, it's early in the season, but I'm talking about just overall, not talking about this season, next season, whatever the case may be. Sometimes you gotta give up a little bit to get something, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of, I hate to say it like that, but a lot of people play fantasy football, they want to get something for nothing. I don't believe in getting something for nothing. You give me what I want, I'm gonna give you what you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you may have to give those guys up, or some of all these 28 million draft picks that you're sitting on. You may have to give some of that up to get what you need. Because when you're
Yeah.
looking at the West, right? OKC's not going anywhere for a while. Denver's not going nowhere for a while. I get it. Golden State and the Lakers getting a little long in the tooth, right? Well, outside of Austin Reeves and Luca, they getting a little long in the tooth, right? But then when you look at like the Timberwolves, they ain't going nowhere for a while.
Mm-mm.
Memphis is actually looking better with KCP.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't going nowhere for a while.
But I wish the
Clippers,
Rockets could have got in on, but yeah.
I would say, yeah, that's what they needed too. But I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
Clippers. I'm gonna say what about 2-3 years? They'll be still hanging around the Clippers,
They gotta
right?
they gotta get rid of that dead weight, man. They gotta get rid of
I mean,
Paul.
it is what it is. You know, hey, while people was bagging on Sacramento, dude, I think Sacramento they gonna be some Memphis, like you say, Steve, that can win some games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're the
they
island
got
of misfit toys. They're just a bunch
yeah,
of
they
dudes
got
out there. But yeah, it's just they all can
hey, but
do these little things. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
but on paper, if you look at them on paper, they got a lot of all stars over there.
Mhm.
Then
yeah.
we did actually help Phoenix by making the Durant trade, which was even more crazy. We helped them out. So it's a lot of teams in the West that even when I look at it from this season, is like Do I see them going anywhere next season? No. Do I see them going anywhere the season after that? No. And if you got stars on your team like an Amen and a Sengun, do you really want to just be good enough to compete in the West, or do you really want to go for it all?
Yeah, I mean, but what does a go for it all like move look like?
Yeah, we just like I said, we just speculating. Yeah, we just speculating, but it's like, the Wisconsin should be made. You like I said, you got thrown late. Honestly, dude, think about if this team would have moved Jabari and Reed and got KD.
Yeah.
Now you just talked about give me what you want, I'll give you what you want.
They had him over barrel. No, they had
obviously the Suns wanted what they got.
They had him over a barrel though, because KD said he was only going 2 places.
I mean, but like again, it's just you still have to like make the trade and stuff like that. It's still like I just can't like here is my trash for
your treasure. I think the Rockets panic. I think they panicked with that trade too because Green had the bad playoffs and it was like, oh, here you go, take him too. And I think they panicked and throw him in the deal when I feel like he should have been he should have been off limits and not part of the KD trade.
But you don't make the trade without Green. You cannot make that trade without Green.
I think they would have made that trade without Green. Especially if you threw in a lot of draft picks. I think they would have made the trade because one KD
draft picks that the Suns already have. The Suns already they don't need draft picks.
They wanted their own draft picks back from us. And KD named 2 teams that he said he would go to. So now you're in a barrel. So it ain't no bidding war. It's you go here or you go there. And if I know that your player want to come here, then I'm gonna say, okay, this is my best offer. And I agree further. I said it before. I wouldn't even mind them throwing in Eason. I wouldn't mind throwing in Eason, but I think this would have been a way better team to compete in the West with Amen, Sengun, Durant, and Green. That would have been a way better team. And if they had Fred, that would have been a way better team to compete in the West. Even though if they would have been top heavy, than the team that they assembled by moving Green and I even go for moving Brooks. Dude, this team is in the stuff than what it was moving Brooks.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like I feel like we talked about this when it happened. I feel like you didn't have to trade both of them. You could have traded Green or Brooks. You didn't have to trade both of them. That was the thing that always like I understand why they made the trade, but the thing that had me flipping out was like you traded both of them. You only have to trade one of them, but
Brooks might have rubbed some people the wrong way. But we said it before, dude. When Jabari was in hoodie season and Brooks was starting, dude, they was balling, bro. Dude, Brooks bailed us out of a lot of games last season, a lot. Like he went on like an amazing 5-6 game stretch, bro, where he basically won us every last game, and. Like I said, I think the Rockets panicked and it was like, oh, KD will come here. Okay. What do you want? It wasn't one of them where it was like, hey, let's work out a trade that works for you guys, but not just totally offsets us. And because we were at that number 2, if you had the number 2 seed, you're not looking to repeat it at the number 2 seed. Now you're trying to make that jump, and I don't feel like making that trade put us in position to make the jump.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that's the thing that kind of upset me about the whole ordeal. Now that we're circling back to it, you look at what we gave up to acquire them. We look at how the roster is currently constructed now, even with the Fred VanVleet injury. We were number 2 seed last year. Okay, and again, Steve jumped on and said, "Listen, you got to adjust your expectation. Let's win a playoff series first. You don't bring KD in." And be like, okay, we got to adjust our expectation. That's not what KD does. That's not why you bring in KD. You bring in KD because you feel as though you are in a position to go compete for some stuff. Because KD's a walking bucket. So to Larry's point, I would have liked to see this team with a couple people that are no longer on the roster. I would like to see this team be able to position themselves. And again, Steve, you're correct. We can't really do anything until, after I eat my Thanksgiving turkey. But I'm annoyed.
I wouldn't even been tripping if it would have been like, okay, this is the KD trade, but this is trade 1 of 2, right? And now we bringing in the Melo. It would have been like, okay, we're making this trade. We offsetting some people to send them over there to get KD, but we got another trade over here to bring in Melo or something like that. Because I feel like if you would have brought in like a LaMelo and KD with Sengun and Amon, then now you got enough to make that jump, right? Because we seen teams do that. Remember Boston made the trade. They made the trade for Ray Allen. They made the trade for Kevin Durant. This was part 1 of 2 trades, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
what was
that's the thing. It's like I think we all kind of was like, okay, so this is trade 1. We got KD. So then now what else we gonna do? And they never made that second trade.
Exactly.
So but now they can't make that second trade. So now we have to wait and see. Because like again, we was talking about this. Like I was watching that Wizards and Hornets game the other day, and boy, I was like, all Rockets fans should have sat down and watched that game because it's like, look, just pick one of these guys off of either team. There's guys on both of these teams that can be had for not a whole lot. Melo, McCollum, Sexton. There's guys all over both of these teams. So they can get
Sexton.
yeah. And see, and that's a guy who I think like Melo would that's optimal. But it's like I was like, man, could Colin Sexton work with this team? That's the one who I was really looking at. I was like, man,
he loves the running gun.
I was like, but then Udoka is going to demand you can play defense, and Colin Sexton really don't like that.
I don't believe that because last year we were near the bottom of the defensive efficiency, and 3 games in, we're so near the bottom of the defensive efficiency. Again, it's weird because both my teams that I love ever so much can't play defense.
Yeah.
Dude, and you know what? I hate to say it, but they got a little turmoil going on over there. But dude, I will be on the phone right now and I'd be like, man, we know Drew do not want to be in Portland, bro. Like we know it. We know it. What is it gonna take? What is it gonna take? Because Drew play defense. And Drew play defense. But he also he another vet. He's a vet with a championship, multiple championships.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like and he's a vet who can still play. So it's not like he can come in there and they're like, we gotta listen to KD. No, you gotta listen to KD and me. Like, no. Both parents are in the room. Like, nah, you can't go running back to the other one. No, I got both parents in the room. So I feel like that will be another trade, just a smaller scale. But I'm put like this, and this is me. Maybe I'm just being, a little pessimistic, right? But KD, as great as a player he's been in this league, he's never been able to get over the hump until he was with Golden State with just abundance of talent, right? Those OKC teams was pretty good. Those Nets teams was pretty good. And it just seemed like KD he's not that guy to be like, he could have 45 points and you lose. You know what I'm saying? He's not that guy to be a solid 23 points and y'all win. It's like KD, he was amazing when he had all his other talent around him in Golden State, but he's never been that guy to just quote unquote, like you say, Steve, carry you to the finish line or even close to the finish line. And I think we putting too much stock in somebody that he's never been that guy. It's like,
Larry, he was that guy in OKC. I mean, it's like they never got the Thunder famously blew a 3-1 lead. They took their foot off the gas and they blew that lead. That wasn't all on Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? And then we look at Brooklyn. Brooklyn, that's one where it's like, I wish I could go in a time machine and kind of fix that because that team, they never really got a chance to play together.
No.
Like they you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then they never got a really chance to play together. And then when they did kind of get a chance to play, look, if Kevin Durant wore a size 11 shoe instead of 17 or whatever like that, they go to the finals.
Yeah.
So it's just like to say, like, I mean, and in that series, KD was doing a whole lot of carrying. So it's like Kevin Durant has been in positions where it's like, and then again, he goes to Golden State, and of course, he was the X factor. Like
Yeah.
Golden State lost the finals. They blew their 3-1 lead.
They
And then
love
he
that.
came, and
Man.
then he came, and then he was the X factor. It was like it's just and for all kind of reasons, the Warriors got bored and felt like, okay, let's blow this up. We don't go away, Kevin. It's just which is still like crazy they did that. It's like I'm thankful for it because I hated what was going on out there. But it's like, yeah, Kevin Durant became like the X factor. He wasn't. It wasn't like, oh, like you surrounded him with talent. It was like the Warriors were like, hey, we need you, Kevin, because you're the X factor. You're the like he. I mean, he was Finals MVP. He was like on a court with prime Curry, prime LeBron. Like he was the best player on the court in those finals. So let's not like Kevin Durant is dynamic. He is a guy who can like he literally. And it sounds weird, but it's like the Warriors had to go get Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant didn't beg to go to Golden State. Draymond called Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant didn't call him.
Yeah, but that was just like, that was like being the cheat code. That's like adding in the, creative player on your super team. But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see Kevin Durant as being that guy that's like, okay, when he's surrounded with a bunch of talent, then yes, okay, yeah, he like you say, he'll be a X factor. But when he's not, is he truly a X factor? I don't see Kevin Durant in that mold. We'll see. Like I say, we'll see. Like I said, it's a long
No,
season.
some of those OKC teams weren't like rich with talent. You know what I'm saying? It's just like so it's like, and they were still at the top, near the top of the Western Conference. And again, it's like what he did with the Nets in that season is like that was him. He literally carried them to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, so just because he hasn't carried them to a championship, I mean, who like I mean, it's just I'm not gonna knock him for that and be like, oh well, he's not like he's Kevin Durant, Larry. I mean,
Do
what are we doing here, baby? Like
but do you
we
think?
really don't.
But do you think that Kevin Durant will be enough to carry this Rockets teams to a final in the West?
No,
No,
No.
no.
not even
Because
close.
this isn't 26, 27-year-old Kevin Durant that we're talking about here.
Exactly.
Like if we go back some years, then yeah, you give me 28-year-old Kevin Durant with this team. I'm like, you know what? This might be enough. But
Well,
not
let me
not with
take it back.
this version.
Wait. Let me take it back because this Western Conference, bro, like I said, it's gonna be some teams that's gonna get knocked off their picking order, bro. In this Western Conference, because this Western Conference is not, dude. This Western Conference is so crazy, bro. So, well, think about it. Like you said, that team up 45, they don't even have Kyrie. That team down I-10 don't even have De'Aaron Fox, bro. This
With
Western Conference is
the way Dylan Harper playing.
bro. Hey, dude, the way Stephon Castle playing, bro.
Yeah, they might be like, look, De'Aaron, like don't rush back.
No rush back. No, just chill.
Don't rush back.
Hey,
Chill.
Man, it's ready season.
Like go down to the Riverwalk, get you some chips and salsa. Go hang out. Like take your time, baby. Like no need to rush back. The kids got it.
We'll have a margarita and a smile, man. Look, hey, but yeah, dude. Like I said, this Western Conference, bro. I really think that it's gonna be some guys getting knocked off the, quote unquote, where we kind of already seeded them at, and it's just, bro. Like, dude, think about it. We saw a Nuggets team literally, what they took in Game 7, last year, dude. That team with Cam Johnson now, oh my god, bro, dude.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, it's like you said, maybe 26-year-old Kevin Durant, maybe so, but this Western Conference, even 26-year-old Kevin Durant in this Western Conference, and as much as they gave him all his hell, dude, but dude, what's his name? Is it Moody in Golden State? Bro. Like I say, man, Golden State, dude, they looking like you got Steph. I don't know what kind of workout routine he had on some time. Man, he looking all ripped up, but
he's fighting off
stuff. Hey, look, that boy, man, he been eating at the restaurant too much or something. But yeah, dude, like I say, Golden State is just looking like they revamped. It's just like I said, you go 1 through like your quote unquote slotted 8. You could see teams that are like 9 and 10, even 11, knocking some of them teams off. That's how deep this. That's how you're gonna see a team in the lottery, bro. You're gonna be like, how in the hell is that team in the lottery?
Yeah, I mean, and that's just mathematics. Every team can make the playoffs, so there's going to be a good team, or there's going to be again, and we come to this fork in the road where it's like I'll say it again, and it has nothing to do with the Rockets. This is just my thing, and I'm going to get on my soapbox. The best 16 teams should make the playoffs. I'm sorry, just like line them up. These are the best 16 teams in NBA. That's who makes the playoffs. Throw the conferences and all that away. And I know you can't do that, but it's like just the best 16 teams make the playoffs because it would not be fair because then you have 10 Western Conference teams and 6 East teams maybe whatever like that.
Yeah.
But it's like I just feel like I would love to see because Silver tries to mimic soccer anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's a soccer thing. Was like, look, these are the best teams. You know what I'm saying? these are the best teams, and then we just whoever the best team is, like that's who wins. But the West is crazy because we have talked about the West, and we have mentioned the Texas teams. We've mentioned Minnesota. We we mentioned the Kings. We mentioned the Lakers. The Nuggets. I mean, the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, once again, look, again, early in the season, but it looks like the Grizzlies have kind of found the formula a little bit. To like how this is how the Grizzlies are going to play because last year was kind of a lost year, but it's like this is just again, this is young Ja Morant. Ja Morant is a difference maker, and if you're going to get him playing like this, then the Grizzlies are going to be in the mix, and it's just the Pelicans. The Pelicans.
I was gonna say once they get I always mess his name up.
When
they get Murray back, dude. Like even the Pelicans, dude. Most people don't like Jordan Poole, but Jordan Poole, he looking nice next to Skinny Zion, man.
He a bucket too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he does put in work on the offensive end. I mean, and that's what you need. He's electric, on the offensive end. And that's something that the Pelicans need. Yeah, the Pelicans have a good team. Like you look at they have talent. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Murphy and Bay, dude. I like them, dude. They got talent over there. They just got to get it together.
Yeah, they just got to get it together. And again, the Pelicans are a team where it's like if they're looking at it, they like the Pelicans make a move, and that's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of a team like the Pelicans who are in the 8-9 range, making that move and getting up to 6-5, because that can happen. It's just like if you sit on your hands, which again, Stone is like he got both hands tied behind his back, but as soon as he break loose of that rope, he needs to get on the phone. He needs to start sending some emails. He needs to start back because it's just you don't want to be sitting there empty-handed while everybody else. Because I feel like, and this is me kind of looking into my crystal ball, I feel like this is going to be a very tough, tense West, and I feel like it's going to be one of the things where it's like whoever makes that right move is going to tilt the West either way. Because it's so tight to where it's like whoever makes that move, be it Minnesota, be it Denver, be it whoever, like if a team makes the right move, and I'm looking right at the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves have draft picks, they have money, they have all this. If they feel like they close, Timberwolves make a move, and it's just like they could totally shift the power in the West.
I think it's the T-Wolves, and then we'll get out of here after this. Ant-Man is down for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but he'll be back. It's fine. Early in the season.
Yeah, he'll be back. It's just like it's a long season. It's just I know one thing before we get out of here. I want to talk about with the Rockets is just once again it's like the lack of shooting. I said this on our very first launch pad. Put ball in hoop. That is the object. Put ball in hoop. Get guys who put ball in hoop. And this is still again when we talked about this when we went back and forth. It's like there's a difference between
shooting the ball and being a shooter. The Rockets have a lot of guys who shoot the ball. We still
Except
need
Jabari.
shooters.
Except for Jabari.
We need shooters for
I
this
mean,
team to do the things that we want them to do. We need shooters.
wasn't that supposed to be what Reed Shepard's supposed to do?
That's what Reed Shepard's supposed to do, and he's not doing it very well. And so it's just, but I'm not gonna sit here and again, like I am. I get what you're saying. Like we can't be lazy and just kind of sit back and not do nothing. But it's just like it's so early in the season to be having these conversations, and it's just like I'm gonna see what happens because it's like again, I think we all can agree this team as is not gonna cut it.
Right.
This is a team that is still under construction, and it'll be interesting to see what the Rockets do moving forward to improve this team. Because of course, they got to roll with who they have now, but it's just like I just said, it's like it's not about just making a move for the sake of making a move. I feel like the Capella thing, it was just let's just make a move. We got to do something.
That's what that felt like, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it felt. It's like we have to do
But
something
if
else.
if you're gonna make something, get the backup point guard, bro. If you just gotta make something, get the backup point guard.
Yeah, that would have been the move to make, but it's just
You didn't need a fifth center. You didn't need a fifth center, bro. Like, come on, man.
Didn't need a fifth center, and I feel like that is where the Rockets need to go. The Rockets need playmaking and shooting, which who don't need playmaking and shooting, but the Rockets really need.
I know. We're trying to get out of here, bro. But this is where I'm gonna probably piss you off here, right? Rockets need shooting. Who are the two dudes that can't shoot? Jabari. Do you know that? I'm gonna say it's just two games. Reed Shepard is shooting 27%. You know what Jabari Smith is shooting? 34%. I get he's a second-year player and he's a fourth-year player. I want their asses off my team, bro. Dude, look. Like you said, you drafted Reed Shepard for shooting, and he's not doing the thing that you drafted him for.
I'm trying to get out of here, but here's the thing with Reed Shepard, bro. Like, he's in year 2.
He's in year 2, man. Like, I
know what?
do it.
This is why
I can't walk with you on that, man. I'm sorry.
This is why I don't like one and done players, right? Because you get these one and done players, they draft them based off of this potential. And sometimes they not gonna be that guy, bro. Like, dude, they're not gonna be that guy.
How you gonna say you hate one and done players? You trying to give Reed Shepard one and done off the squad?
No, I'm talking about one and done in college.
That's my point. I got you. But like Reed Shepard he just finished his first year, was her majority of it. I'm more my rope is significantly longer on Reed Shepard than it is Jabari Smith.
I get it. Yeah, it should be, and it should be. But the two guys that are bringing down your shooting percentage are two guys that are still young, high draft picks that you could have moved for a guy who really could shoot, who really can score. I'm just saying, like, dude, I'm not being a hater, dude, but I'm just like, dude, I will be okay with Reed still being on the team, but if we get to the trade deadline and Jabari is still on this roster.
He's going to be on the roster. He signed a 5-year extension.
Yeah, he just re-upped. Like, yeah, so because they paid him and then didn't pay Tari, which I understand why they didn't pay. See, okay, let's not go down that rabbit hole because it's just like they didn't pay Tari because he's going to be a very attractive trade piece. I think that's what expiring contract, young kid, like I think that's why they didn't give him an extension.
Oh, before you jumped on, Steve, we said Tari is just like we saw with Martin Jr. We saw with Cam. It's like, yeah, this guy can score, he can shoot, he can play defense. You know what? I think we'll find a way to piss him off and get him off the team. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think that's why they didn't extend him because they're going to trade him.
Dude, I'm put like this, and I'm being this sentence in the most polite way. I know that they can't trade Jabari, but if he ain't coming off the bench by December,
how can you put him on the bench?
I'm gonna
You
lose my
can't. You
shit.
cannot. You can't bench him.
Start Eason.
Get the hell out of here.
Start Tari.
Yeah.
Let Durant play the 4.
Oh my God.
Let
Let
Durant play
him
the 4. Let
No
Durant play
way.
the 4.
I'm
No
saying
way.
26, my guy.
I'm just saying, bro, dude. They actually played better without him, bro. If that dude is still starting, bro, I'm gonna be pissed.
Last year's team played better without him. We haven't figured out what this team is going to do without him yet.
They're 0-2 with him. He's shooting 35% from the fit. Dude. He's averaging like 0. What is it, like 4 blocks a game? If he's not on that bench, bro, I'm gonna lose my shit, bro. That's the only way I can say it.
I'm letting you know now. I mean, come on the one tomorrow.
At this point, I wouldn't even care if they put Reed in as the 2 or somebody else, and let Ame can play the 4. Let Ame play the 4, and he be on that bench because they can't trade him. If he's not on that bench, man, look, he must got some blackmail. He must got some pictures of somebody mama. He must something is going on that Rockets team to keep him in that starting lineup, bro. Because it's no way in the hell he should be starting. No way.
Well, I mean, what he has is like potential. Somebody, the Rockets team front office, no matter what we say, and again, like we're not in practice, we're not in the locker room, so that like they see the potential, and we see this all the time where these teams will hold on to guys just hoping for that potential, hoping for him to finally put it together, and it's just like at this point, it's like I am not as confident that he will do that as maybe the Rockets are. But like I said, I'm not in the locker room, I'm not in practice, but it's like you don't sign him to the extension, just cause,
That blew my mind. We signed him to a not 1, not 2, but 5-year extension, bro.
Yeah,
bro. And you know what? And this is the part that really irks me. And y'all probably have seen that too before, right? You ever seen these guys that and I think that's probably why they gave him that. We seen these draft picks. They, like you say, Steve, they hold on to these guys forever. And I don't want to make this a Jabari Smith bashing, because we've seen it with a bunch of guys. They come in the league and, like you say, I hate one and dones, bro. They come in the league, they one and done. Oh, they was a one and done. They was amazing in college. And they got, they 6'10", they could jump 98 feet in the air, and they could do this and then this. Cannot play basketball. You see these guys who, quote unquote, are practice superstars, right? And when I say practice superstars, dude, for the majority of people that haven't played against guys who played like I'm gonna say started a couple of games in the NBA or on the bench guys, like played some seasons. Oh, them guys can really hoop. Them guys can really, really hoop, right? But they may be amazing in practice, but when they get in the game, you're like, oh my God, that dude averages, 1 point a game, because they're really good practice players and they're not in-game players. Just like, we all heard the AI practice. Like there's some guys that are horrible at practice, come out when the lights come on, amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he may be one of them guys that they're like, oh my God, he's amazing in practice, horrible on the court, or mediocre.
It's possible. It's very, very
Mediocre.
possible. But anyways, I'm gonna get you guys out of here, man. Steve, thanks for coming by, kicking with us, man. Give us a plug in the close out, big homie.
Yeah, came in late, so like apologize for that, but like made it do what it do with the little time we had. Again, you see the show, share the show. If you see Orange and Blue Skies, share that. You see the launch pad, share that. You see Total Sports, share that. You see Backstage Business, share that. You see my beautiful face giving you the 5 best teams in college football. Watch and share that. So if you see us, if you see Larry breaking down eye pokes and suplexes and stuff like that, share that, please. It's like, it's just the executive's view. We all over the place. You know what I'm saying? We're all over the place. Executive view. Y'all already know what it is. Coach out.
See you, big dog, man. Hopefully we'll see him tomorrow. Total Sports, man. Larry, get us out of here, big homie.
Yo, man, always a pleasure, man. Hey, chopping up these Rockets, man. Hopefully they don't drive me to, I don't know, crazy around here, because I'm one of them people that's of the mindset of 1995 was too long. It's been too long. We not Knicks bad, look, but the Rockets definitely have the talent to bring home another championship. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But yeah, like I say, always I catch my clips, catch everybody else's clips. Check out the main show tomorrow. Like Steve say, man, I would piggyback what he say. See the show, share the show, see the show, share the show, subscribe to the show, like the show. And I'm out.
Appreciate you, big dog, man. Yo, it's your boy Sears repping that 412 and the 703, man. Such a privilege and pleasure doing this rocket show with you gentlemen. Again, on tomorrow, man, we will break down everything around the world of sports that happened over the weekend. A lot of stuff happened around football. So we're going to be talking about that. With that being said, God is good. Even if I keep alert, man. God bless. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace.